The Saints got embarrassed by the Vikings 27-19. They fall short of the comeback bid with Jameis Winston, and there could not be a better time for the New Orleans Saints to be walking into the bye week with all the injuries that were taken on in this football game. Dennis freaking Allen. 12-15 as the Saints head coach. He's got a 20-43 record in his career. Saints fans, get ready for this one. Dennis Allen's 31.7% win percentage is 169th out of 174 head coaches with at least 60 or more games coached in the NFL. We literally thought a guy with 8 wins and 36 games coached was the answer after Sean Payton. Not me, not the damn fans, but Mickey Loomis. And if Miss Benson have anything to do with it, shame on her. Love her as an owner. But you start to look more internal as the sample size grows bigger of this New Orleans Saints team. And it's just embarrassing, right? I mean, let's be real. We struggle with Tyson Bagent. We struggle with Josh Dobbs, loss. We struggle with CJ Stroud, a little bit of slack there. We force an interception, fumble it, still a loss. Jordan Love, who is not good, that's probably the most embarrassing loss for the Saints right now is the Packers. Up 17-0 in the fourth quarter. You let Jordan Love, who is not good, and the Packers team, oh, we were in Lambeau. I don't care. Inexcusable loss there. And Baker Mayfield, also another loss. And we tried to give the game to the Bears and Tyson Bagent the best we could, making Bagent look like freaking Patrick Mahomes. We have struggled with not the best quarterbacks this year outside of CJ Stroud. Josh Dobbs proved himself. If you follow my social media accounts, you know that I wasn't dragging Josh Dobbs, but I said I don't think he's going to step up to the occasion. It's a 1-8 football team in the Arizona Cardinals. Yeah, they beat the Falcons. Great. They do the same thing to my Saints as well. And the Saints clearly struggle with running quarterbacks. Jalen Hurts, Tyson Bagent, Josh Dobbs. Where the hell is the QB spy? Oh, wait, we're the oldest roster in the NFL, and our front seven is one of the oldest and slowest in the league. Josh Dobbs, 23 of 34, 2 touchdown by Josh Dobbs really got under my skin. It really did. Credit to Josh Dobbs, first and foremost, played his life out. I mean, at home against the Saints. Now, that defense is reeling. You've given up 27 points. But the fact that he had to be shown the home locker room and played the way that he did, and I said it. I knew Josh Dobbs was talented at Tennessee. I watched him and Alvin Kamara beat my Georgia Bulldogs in one of Kirby Smart's earlier years. But Josh Dobbs didn't land in the right position, and maybe he has now because he's got 2 wins after the trade deadline, and the Minnesota Vikings are looking absolutely on top of the world, and they don't even need to rush Justin Jefferson back. They're 5-0 without Justin Jefferson, and they are rolling right along. Now, we see Derek Carr get hurt in this game. Prayers up for him. We see Derek Carr. We see Marshawn Lattimore. We see Michael Thomas go out in this game. Rashid Shaheed got hurt at one point as well. Derek Carr is very mediocre in this game. 72 yards, 110 yards, 72% completion, 110 yards, no touchdowns or interceptions, thankfully. 88 passer rating, but he was outplayed by Josh Dobbs. Now, and, again, prayers for him. He took a big hit from Danielle Hunter, who absolutely harassed the hell out of us in this game. He's in concussion protocol. Marshawn Lattimore, I'm very worried about because we saw him miss extended time last year with a lacerated, I think it was a lacerated kidney. He had some sort of abdominal injury. And then Michael Thomas, he tweaked his knee as well. The original reports for the Saints were just trying to play it safe because his foot got caught in the turf. But now, we're looking at significant lower body injuries here from Marshawn Lattimore and Michael Thomas. And that's why I said it couldn't have been a better time for the bye week to come around. But Atlanta's up next. I'll be at that game. Atlanta's on the bye week as well. So this is just, really shaken out to be an interesting matchup. And I even said it Sunday, I said, look, if the Falcons win, the Saints will be in Atlanta playing them for the lead in the NFC South. But I don't want to hear any more talk about Jameis Winston versus Derek Carr. I don't. There's no reason to continue to have that debate because we got the full Jameis Winston experience in this game. Jameis showed us the highs and the lows and gave us the average of what he is. I'll give the credit to Jameis. He comes in and makes a hell of a throw to Chris Olave. Wasn't necessarily the smartest throw. It was the lowest percentage to be completed according to Next Gen Stats before Russell Wilson has the insane completion to Cortland Sutton last night on Monday Night Football. And then he has the throw to A.T. Perry, which, yeah, he let his guy make a play, but both were 50-50 balls. But Jameis realized we were down. We got to take a shot. Let's go for it. So I'll give him respect, in that point, because Derek Carr was, you go back and look at the film, you can see a couple times he missed some open throws. He missed some potential touchdown throws, guys streaking down the field. But Jameis Winston comes in and throws 2 risky touchdown passes, and he threw 2 interceptions to end the football game. Ugly interceptions as well on back-to-back drives, what have you, to go and tie the football game. So Jameis Winston, it's got me at a loss for words, as you can tell, because the fact that Derek Carr and Jameis Winston are in as much of a debate as they're in, and I was even saying it on the last drive, like, we don't have to go for it all. Jameis, you don't have to go for it all. And he went for it all, and he threw the pick. Even after the Saints got the stop after the first pick, he still went and did that. And you already know I'm looking at Pete Carmichael. I still want Pete Carmichael out of the building. We still need to blow it up. We still need to get Dennis Allen out of there. But for anyone saying that Jameis Winston is the quarterback that should be in, he's absolutely not. He threw his 98th and 99th interception of his career compared to 149 touchdowns. Chris Olave's catch, again, had 10.5% completion probability, which made it the most improbable touchdown catch of the season thus far. What do you know if that's not Jameis Winston in a nutshell right there? Oh, and just so we're clear, in 334 pass attempts this year, Derek Carr has thrown 4 picks. In 42 pass attempts this year, damn near 300 less, Jameis Winston has thrown 3. I get it. He threw 2 in that game. But when he's being called on to come in for whatever reason, he's throwing interceptions. That's not the type of guy I want as my quarterback. Now I'm not going to sit here and tell you that we're much better with Derek Carr, because we're not. Derek Carr hit his head on the ceiling with the Raiders. We paid him $150 million. I was optimistic at first. He's average at best. He makes a little bit better decisions, but they kind of feel like the same guy in this offense, at least with Pete Carmichael. Was the ceiling of Carr higher than Winston? Absolutely. Carr was an MVP finalist before he broke his leg. But at this point in both of their careers with this Saints structure, I mean, whatever, right? We're 5-5. Like, we haven't had good quarterback play all year. I'll give some credit to the Saints for limiting an injured and limited to key plays, quote unquote, TJ Hawkinson and the Vikings in the second half after going down 24-3 and then 27-3. TJ Hawkinson was 10 for 128 and a touchdown in the first half. It was just absolutely him in this game, even with him being injured. The Saints outscored the Vikings 16-3 in the second half behind Jameis's comeback efforts. But again, we didn't need it all in the plays. And I mean, we literally come in, Jameis Winston, touchdown. Jameis Winston, 3 straight incompletions, 3 and out. Jameis Winston, another touchdown. Jameis Winston, back-to-back interceptions. Like, that is Jameis. His decision-making has decided who he is as a quarterback. Demario Davis had the lone sack of the day on Josh Dobbs, and the Saints did not force a turnover. They were penalized 9 times for 74 yards. Little side note on us signing Jason Pierre-Paul. That's cool and all, but at the end of the day, we're an old freaking roster. We need new, young players on this roster. And JPP is 3 years removed from a good Super Bowl season with Tampa. Don't get me wrong. I want to say he went in there and got a contract, got his money, won the title. We know he played for New York as well. He was elite at his peak, but he's 34, and the Saints need speed up front with the oldest roster in the NFL. And I was thinking about it this morning as I was posting it on X. I was walking the puppy. I was just like, JPP, he'll provide. I think he'll get pressures. I think he'll be enough of a mental thought for other opposing players that, like, okay, this guy can rush the passer. Let's not underrate him, right? Like, kind of like Calais Campbell in the recent years. Yeah, Calais might be, on the other side of 35, but he's still respectable. And in some cases, you still might have to double him. And Calais Campbell is still Calais Campbell. I believe that's the type of impact that Jason Pierre-Paul could have for the Saints. But no Justin Jefferson, no Kirk Cousins, a hurt TJ Hawkinson, a second start with Josh Dobbs, who had to be shown the home locker room. And the Saints fall 27-3. It's a 19. And this defense and everyone's the defense is our strength. That's what we're talking about. The Saints have given up 27, 17, 27, 24. Before that, 13, 0, 26, 17, 17, and 15. So, over the last month is really when the Saints have given up most of their points. 27 points, 17 points, another 27, and then another 31. Excuse me. I was at that Jags game. Damn, I'm excited to go to the game on November 26th, man. And then, the rest of the season, we got the Falcons. The Saints and Falcons is always a doozy. I can't even make a prediction on that game. We got the Lions at home, thankfully, but I think, unfortunately, they're going to run all over us. We got the Panthers again, who we struggled with earlier in the year. We got the Giants, the Rams, the Bucks, and then the Falcons again. So the Saints still have that chance to be that 10 to 12 win football team like I predicted them coming into the year, but something's got to change. And I'll just go ahead and say the Bills had the balls to fire their offensive coordinator. Wrong move, in my opinion, in the middle of the season before Thanksgiving. The Raiders have already chose to clean house. Come on, Saints. Let's follow through. We know these contracts aren't tradable. We know Dennis Allen and Pete Carmichael are very mediocre. We understand what's got to happen here. You got to blow it up, trade up for a quarterback. I don't want to be a broken record with this, but nonetheless, I wasted my time watching the Saints play this way. And I was like, dude, we're like easiest schedule in the NFL coming in. Now, I'm learning to take that with a grain of salt because we didn't expect the Lions to be this good. We didn't expect the Colts or the Rams to possibly be this competitive, just speaking hypothetically, right? So those averages sway pretty quickly when those teams that aren't supposed to win games are starting to win games. But coming in, easiest schedule, pretty healthy roster right now, before the injuries in this game, and you're a 500 football team. And you have nothing to show for it. And I mean, we didn't learn anything new. One step forward, two steps back here with the New Orleans Saints, but that's neither here nor there.